Thank you very much for joining me on this Friday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, thinking of you if you've been dealing with some of the flooding. Of course, the Caribbean, we have a large area. It's not all of us, but we've got two things. One front here, and look at this surge in moisture here. And I look at everything, again, around the Caribbean to really tie in what's going on with our weather. So I'm going to break down this flood threat. But from Jamaica back through Belize, just as an example, even over toward the ABC Islands, the rain chance is also going up. So I want to get into why and what we could expect in the forecast going further. Now, this time of year, a lot of it is tied to the north. Of course, in hurricane season, a lot of times we're looking out toward the east, off the coast of Africa, where systems develop. This time, watching the fronts up to the north. There's that one front right there, stretching all the way back near Cuba, the Bahamas included, and that front will shift the winds a little bit. So I'll get into that, and it will increase our chance of rain, plus dealing with this flood threat down here. And then there's that big spin that's working into the United States. And as I mentioned about a week or two ago, I do believe we'll see a few systems that will be more to the south, which means by later next week and the week after, we could see more of a change in the wind direction across the Caribbean. That could lead to some choppier seas, that could lead to some rain in spots, and eventually that could lead to some of those cooler nights as well. So I'll be monitoring that. But there's that one front right there stretching back on the edge of Bermuda. So Bermuda, we're going to see this front kicking by as well with some extra clouds, chance of showers, and then again this spin over toward the west coast of the United States. And this is where there's been some big issues. Now, this front will once again dive across the United States, and that will sweep in a front very similar to the one we just had. But you see again some of the rain working in those higher seas. They've been dealing with all sorts of problems out here in parts of California. Now look at these watches and warnings, putting on these colors. Higher terrain out here, winter storm warnings. That rain, that moisture runs into the higher terrain, hits that colder weather, and then elsewhere in the lower terrain, dealing with just widespread flood watches, advisories along the coast for coastal flooding, all those sorts of things, warnings out in this sector. While over here, dealing with some winter storm issues, some rain, and watching out for some of the snow even squeaking into eastern portions of Canada. So it's busy. Down here behind the old front, you see these brighter colors, watching over toward the southeastern United States, some flood warnings, but that is more so for, again, the rivers. It is dry in this area behind the front, but clearly a lot going on. So let me get to the forecast, and I'm going to get to different forecasts for you, but I need to get to Guyana, even Suriname. That chance of rain is still high. It's actually not quite as high as yesterday, but as I know, and I was just reading the comments, thank you for that, and you've been letting me know where it's raining. Of course, we have that high chance of rain, so the flood threat will continue, which means it doesn't take a whole lot more to get flooding because we've had the rain for several days. Gustier winds as well, but that rain threat, I'll get to those storm totals in just a second and what we can expect going forward. My friends in Jamaica, I know we had a couple showers in spots yesterday, but other spots we've been too dry. If you're relying on some of the rain for your cisterns and you're just relying on the rain for any agricultural purposes, your farms, we haven't had a ton. The rain chance is a little higher in Jamaica, and I want to show you that in the computer model coming up. A 40% chance of rain. No washout, but a slightly better chance of rain. So if you need the rain, I do hope you get some. It's crazy how some spots have too much, others need to get the rain. Now that front passing by to the north does shift the winds a little bit this weekend. We're going to see them a little more out of the northeast. With that, a higher chance of rain. Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Cuba, parts of Mexico, Belize, and Honduras in slightly cooler nights. Just kind of taking the edge off of things at night in the morning. Some of us have been dealing with that. Now, as far as the two-day rain total goes, now, let me get you into this. Just look at the brighter colors. You don't even need to worry about the key. But overall, we're looking at for a two-day total, again, Guyana and my friends in Trinidad and Tobago on the edge of it, south side. So really anywhere, really Trinidad and then south, Port of Spain south, seeing that higher chance of rain. So these brighter colors correspond to anywhere from 75 millimeters to 125 millimeters, 3 to 5 inches of rain. Parts of Suriname, Guyana especially, but even close to the south side of Trinidad and Tobago, south side of Trinidad, south-facing coast, where we could get these totals. And that would be, if you want to use inches, that would be about anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain. And as I mentioned, the issue with that is we've already had the rain, so it's not going to take much more to cause the flooding. Puerto Rico, I'll show you that in the computer model as well. Higher chance of the scattered storms and some decent rain totals. Belize picking up up. Not all of us in Belize, not all of us in Mexico, but especially along the coast, Honduras included, where 2-day total, we could get 100 millimeters to 125 millimeters, 4 to 5 inches of rain. Coastal sections of Nicaragua, not a ton in Jamaica, but 2-day total starting to increase. We could get a few spots getting 2 inches of rain in the blue here, or 50 millimeters of rain. So we're going to start to see some changes. And you see there in Puerto Rico, getting back to that, as I mentioned, we could, if we get a few repeat showers, see some spots getting 3 to 4 inches of rain, 75 millimeters to 100 millimeters. But again, in the Caribbean, of course, some spots can be totally dry while others are getting dumped on. So as promised, let me get to the computer model here. Here's our time frame. Easterly flow that's still intact, drawing in the moisture. The green, that is rain. Look at this. Suriname, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago. But Aurba, Curacao, Bonaire, northern Venezuela, no washout, but a slightly better chance of rain. St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, down through St. Lucia, Barbados, Dominica, we're going to see scattered showers and storms. Here's that new easterly flow, kind of getting the squeeze play. Because as I mentioned, this is this afternoon, by the way, we have that front up to the north, and that's why Belize, Honduras, and Nicaragua, we're going to have that higher chance of some rain. Now, let me take out in time. Here's our clock taking into Saturday afternoon. Let me stop the clock here. There's that higher chance of rain that I mentioned. So looking at a few things. Again, the green on the map, that is the rain. That front that has swept in, watching it up here, that'll bring in some of the winds a little bit out of the north and northeast. But with this front in place here, you see that rain chance, kind of that squeeze play. Honduras, Nicaragua tomorrow, Belize, you get over toward Cancun, a better chance of getting some rain. And of course, still watching some of this rain here. Spotty in nature, Haiti, Dominican Republic, got you covered. A lot of new subscribers. Thank you for sharing this channel in the DR and Haiti. Puerto Rico, spotty showers. And then still, Guyana and Suriname, it persists. Another high chance of rain for tomorrow. Trinidad and Tobago, we are kind of that marker. We are just on the edge of that. So some of the showers may creep in. Most of it's down to the south. All right, going out in time. This is Sunday afternoon. Scattered showers and storms in Mexico. Easterly flow with us. So you get toward anywhere from Montserrat, Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, spotty showers. But you see, here's the front. So Turks and Caicos through the Bahamas, scattered showers possible. And there's that kind of northerly flow that we'll see. So Puerto Rico, getting some scattered showers and storms. Jamaica, as I mentioned, rain chance gets a little higher. No, not a washout, but Cayman Islands, Jamaica, you get over toward Kingston, Falmouth, we could see some of those scattered showers. Honduras, watching that. And again, back through Nicaragua. So it's still active. We're still going to see this pattern continuing and watching that flooding. Please, please be safe with that flooding. All right, let's get to some of the forecasts. Trinidad and Tobago, again, on the edge of it, especially south side of Trinidad. That's where we have a better chance of rain, about a 40% chance. Warm and breezy, still 29 degrees Celsius. Winds east at 32 kilometers an hour and gustier. We'll have some gusty winds. St. Lucia, the winds are actually going to be a little bit gustier. So just to the north of Trinidad and Tobago, you see the winds east at 48 kilometers an hour. That's about 30 miles per hour. And we'll see some higher gusts at times just kind of kicking in. Barbados, we've been dealing with that too. So some gusty winds. And what happens is you get that pattern, those easterly winds, and they kick in enough wind-driven showers. That's why you could be totally dry. And then you get some passing showers. You may be dry again. And then you get those wind-driven showers moving in once again. All right, Dominica for us, same deal, 30% chance of showers. There's that breeze. Winds east at 40 kilometers an hour. Passing showers possible, 28 degrees Celsius. So, of course, the day's warm. The night's not as bad. Belize, rain chance picking up the next few days. Not a washout, but up to a 50% chance. So that rain chance bumping up. I showed you that on the tropical computer model. Scattered showers, wind southeast at 15 miles per hour, 24 kilometers an hour. All right, moving forward. Again, flood threat continues. Guyana, Suriname, please, thank you for sharing this channel for safety's sake. A higher chance of rain overall across the Caribbean. St. Kitts and Nevis, all the way back through Jamaica, all the way back through Belize. Rain chance is picking up some. Those cooler nights, northwestern zones, Cayman Islands, again, that northerly flow kicking in a bit as we get into the weekend. And then late next week, watching a bigger system that'll sweep through the Gulf of Mexico. That one could give us a bigger change in some of the wind. So a lot of us should be locked into the dry season. Not the case. And we saw this when I was doing this channel in May of last year. I was seeing that southern storm track that we had. That has been staying with us. So an unusual pattern, but that's why I do this channel, for safety, give you the information just as I see it. I tell you what I know, what I don't know. That dry season for a lot of us is delayed, while still some others need to get some rain. So I'll stay on top of it for you. Should be a busy weekend in spots. Got you covered. Thank you for sharing this channel. Thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful day ahead.